The reason I started this channel was because to answer questions like this. Because even though I'm not out there anymore as much as I used to be, but I'm going to be, doesn't mean you don't have the knowledge, because I did do it for a period of time. I think a lot of times too is people don't really realize it can be enjoyable. But there are certain things that you have to do and be prepared for. You got to be prepared not finding a camping spot that you wanted. You got to be prepared of already booking it and get credit to your account later on that it's not going to be available. It's not available. You got to be able to bounce as the ball bounces. Maybe sometimes it hits a rock and goes that way. You got to be able to do that and not have to. If you can't be able to bounce and have diversify and kind of expect the unexpected, you'll have a hard time RVing. RV lifestyle is not for everybody. I have to tell you, RV style is not for everybody. It takes a certain person to be able to do that. It's sort of like back when I was a kid, you know, and you guys will understand this, that come by neck of the woods, that if you're a person and you're living in Arizona, we kind of grew up a little bit outdoor style. And what I mean by that is we knew how to build the campfires and live underneath the stars and be cold at night and things like that. Not saying that it was had to or anything about it, had a wonderful life, but it's just things that we enjoyed doing, and we just did that. We're kind of raised like that. RVing kind of reminds me of that every day. It's camping outside every day, being able to find the food, cook the food, eat the food, and then survival. A lot of people have a hard time, but it's not in front of them. They have a hard time and don't really know how to do that. And sometimes, you know, you never know what you're going to have you. But the thing too is as long as you're prepared for boondocking, prepared for things, it makes things easier. Meaning, you have enough food, you have power on board. There's always power. Now, you can't just sit and run it all the time. You can if you have the fuel and everything and the means of doing it. Another way is making sure you have the solar and things. But overall, in general, it just expect it. Just kind of roll with the punches. I had some guys ask me today is, how do you do it? How do you start? Is there something you think I could do? The answer to that is this. If you're looking to do an RV and do an RV type lifestyle, the smartest thing to do is test it. Test the waters. No different than when I came here. I decided I'm moving to the Philippines. I said, worst case, I'll come here, I'll keep all my stuff there, and then I'll move back. Not a big deal. Or go back. Not move back, but go back. The same thing with camping. You go out, you try it, camping. Maybe go camping, buy you a tent and start out that way. And that's exactly how I did. Back in the 70s and 80s, I had a tent. I went out and I camped in a tent. I always had a tent. I had my backpack and a tent. And I did a lot of things, and I had my sleeping bag. I started out there, went from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, got a camper, next thing, instead of a camper, got a small type pull along in the back, then end up getting a bigger vehicle and end up in the Class A. Now I like the Class A or Class C, Class B. I like all the classes. But it's all about, I have a family now, and a Class A or Class C would be perfect for us. But that's it. You got to start somewhere. So it's like taking baby steps. Some people say, I want to do it, and they sell everything. They go into Class A and say, oh, I didn't know you couldn't park this everywhere. I didn't know that it matters how big they are. I did not know this. I did not know that. Well, if you're out and about and learning on the beginning, it's best to test the waters first. So I suggest anybody that's going to try to start camping or try the RV lifestyle, just try it. I mean, a lot of people are forced to go live in their car. A lot of people are forced to live in their van or the bus or anything like that. And they do that immediately. And the reason why is because they're forced out of their apartment. They have no choice but live in their car. And that sense of depression rolls over you. Like, I'm going to be looked at impossible. I'm going to be looked at as a negative person because I sleep in my car. I'm going to be looked at this way. They're going to think I'm unclean. They're going to think I'm not worth anything. They're going to think that I'm not really that good of a person because I sleep in my car. Don't think that way. Don't think any of those negative thoughts. That's all negative. That's negative stuff. That's stuff you're thinking about. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks about you. Don't ever worry about what anybody else says about you. What you do is you go out, you enjoy yourself, enjoy your life, because you only have this much time. It's dwindling down, dwindling down, dwindling down. Enjoy your life. If you want to go on RV lifestyle, Test the waters first. Now, if you decide to buy any kind of class, buy it. You have a job, try it on the weekends, try it on vacation time, try it on holiday time. Test the waters. Go out 2 days a week. Take it to the beach. Take it out for the day. Say you're going to go to the beach, and you are normally just hop in a car or truck and go to the beach, and you have a class A, B, or C. Take that to the beach instead. Take that. Depending on where you're at in the States, you can take your vehicle on the beach itself. I know in Texas you can. I know in Florida you can. You can actually drive your vehicle around the beach. An RV. You can drive an RV to the beach. Many people do it. You just pay the fee and go there for the day and park it. Just be careful where you park it in the sand. That's all I have to say. And know the tides. But here is really important. Enjoy what you have. Enjoy what life you have. The guys are asking me, Tom, can I start out? Yes, you can. Would you suggest buying an RV first? I suggest you rent an RV first and try it for a weekend. Try it for long periods of time. Try it for short and try it for long. Get the food. Because living RV lifestyle too is your foods you need to be prepared on the foods. You're not always going to get what you want where you want it. And you may find yourself in a situation where you're hungry and you have no fresh food. But you have canned foods. You can easily make a meal out of wonderful cans. Don't think you can't. Many crock pots, many pots are cooking with canned products in them. It could be canned tomatoes. It could be canned meat. It could be canned onions and bell peppers and all the things. And you throw it in there. Yes. Now, what I used to do sometimes is an RV, and I know I was going to do it, I would prepare a lot of stuff ahead of time. I would buy the cut up bell pepper and all those things. I would put them separate bags and put them in a sealed container. And I would have those in a freezer. So I would have those. Sometimes you can go buy frozen items. You can have that available, but it takes up a lot of room. But yeah, you can live in an RV comfortably, and you can actually plan it out to where you can live very nice. So I want to thank everybody for always watching, and thank you so much for this wonderful, wonderful time, guys, of you taking the time watching our videos. God bless everybody, and I'll see you next time.